And welcome back to In Depth with the Bengals. Our guest today is probably the newest member of the athletic department at Idaho State University. She is the new assistant soccer coach at Idaho State, and her name is Samantha Etherington. And Sam, welcome to ISU.
Thank you. Thank you. Excited to be part of the team.
Oh, your accent gives it away. Tell us where you're from.
I'm from Newcastle, England, which is probably like an hour and a half down the road from Coach Debs, who's from Middlesbrough. So we have a bit of a common connection there. But Northeast England, where the weather is very similar to Pocatello, so it's going to make for an easy transition.
I would probably guess it's similar with the exception of humidity, which we have very little of here.
Right. I'm coming from Louisiana where it's boiling hot and going back to the cold, so it's a welcome way to get the winter clothes back out of storage.
Now, the job you're leaving to come to Idaho State is a head coaching position, correct?
Correct.
And you're at, is it Louisiana College?
Yes, sir.
That's a Division III school, and you've been there as head coach how long?
5 years, since 2015.
Tell us about your relationship to Coach Debs and how long you've known her.
So I've known of Debs for a little while now. We had some kind of common connections through some leadership programs we'd been on and kind of extracurricular learning. And I'd heard about it for a while, but it was just through mutual connections in a couple of different places where we actually made the contact. And she was looking for a new assistant coming into the new year. And I had a friend who'd played with Debs back in England who coaches in Texas. And then I got other friends in Florida who had a connection with her, and everyone all at once was all like, hey, there's this position that we've mentioned you about. And then she reached out to me, and it just kind of snowballed from there, really. So we didn't know each other personally before then, but I definitely heard of her and knew she was a head coach who was kind of rising in the game of women's soccer, and someone who, you know, been highly recommended and I thought would be a really good person to work for.
So what was it about coach and the position at Idaho State that caused you to pull the trigger and decide to move across country?
I think it for the past few years, they've kind of been the underdogs. And it's a situation that I'm familiar with as a college player. I joined a program that was the underdogs and helped make that program better. And then the past few years in my last position, same type of story. So I love the underdog story and kind of putting teams back to where they should be. And I think it was just once I'd visited campus and I'd seen what was available and the facilities and the area, and just everything was just kind of falling into place. And at the end of it, it was more of a why not more than a why should I do this.
Well, I have to tell you that obviously there's a new pitch and now a new outdoor track and field facility being created right now as we speak at Davis Field. And I'm very excited to see what that will turn into. But of course, the coming season, y'all are going to be playing soccer on the practice field south of Holt Arena. And that will be a different experience for fans as well. I know they played 1 or 2 contests there last year. But tell us about your experience in soccer and when the game became part of your life.
Ooh, we're digging real deep here. Probably the earliest memory of soccer was probably like around the age of 8. Like in England, soccer is obviously like what football is to you guys. So we're national sport. Everyone pretty much plays it. I was always like the only girl that wanted to play. And I just remember, I have vague memories of Newcastle United and players like Alan Shearer, and then England with David Beckham. Like those were the players that really made us kind of fall in love with the game. And I don't think my parents ever expected anything to come from it other than I just enjoyed kicking a ball around. And then when I got to college in the UK, which is the ages of 16 to 18, it's the go-between of high school and university. that was when the opportunity came where you could maybe play in the USA. And my only experience of that was Bend It Like Beckham. You know, that was the real kind of where everyone was like, oh, this is a real thing for women to go play soccer and get the education paid for. So it was kind of then around the 16, 17 age where, you know, I went to my parents and said, hey, I kind of want to leave the country for university and go play. I mean, we call it football, so I was just say football. And then I think once they realized that I was serious about it, that just they helped us do everything I could to kind of follow. I guess it sounds kind of cheesy, but like follow the dream, because in England at that point in time, we didn't have a women's professional league. It was just a rec, and you played for as long as you could. And from there, at that point, I realized that my career would be in football. I could never have imagined it. But after a few years in the college system, it was like, oh, okay, I can make life out of this. So it
So
takes
you
us to
came to
right
the
now,
United
and
States.
you know, doing the job I love every single. Mm-hmm.
You came to the U.S. and attended university at Nicholls State. Is that
Yes, sir. I
so?
would
Tell us about your areas of specialty.
I would say probably understanding the game. I think when a lot of coaches bring over European players, that's what it's for, and I think that transcended into coaching. Uh, and then I was a centre midfielder myself, so hopefully coaching midfield players, helping them play the game a bit better and a little bit smarter. I was never the fastest player or the fittest player, but I got the work done and I was able to stay on the field a lot of the time. So I think that takes a little bit working smarter, not harder sometimes. And then I also think I like to say I'm willing to help in any way that I possibly can. At the point right now where I'm now to this position as assistant coach, I'm here to help other people put their vision into place and to assist it along the way. So I think the ability to just do whatever I'm told and, you know, have a good time while doing it, I think that's something that is a little bit different about us in the coaching sense.
Well, Sam, I can tell you after Coach Deb's first year at Idaho State, we saw improvement in the program in a number of different areas, but especially in passing and catching and ball handling and really the philosophy behind how to play offensive soccer. And I think our fans are very excited. I think once the project at Davis Field is complete, it's going to be an extraordinary experience for soccer at Idaho State University. And we are just thrilled that you plan on being a part of that.
Good, me too. I'm excited and can't wait to get that field finished. But in the meantime, it's good things come to those who wait, I guess.
Well, Coach Sam Etherington, the newest member of the athletic department at Idaho State University, she will be an assistant coach to Debs Brereton in the women's soccer program. It has been an absolute pleasure to be able to talk to you. And we're excited to have you finally get into Pocatello whenever that might be so we can meet you personally.
Hopefully sooner rather than later. Not too long now.
All right. Coach Sam Etherington, welcome to the Bengals.
Thank you.